Under the network topic, today we are going to see about star topology, its advantages, disadvantages. Star topology, it is one of the type of network topology where all the devices are connected to the central node. That is, it can be either a switch, router or a hub. That is, the central node here, hub, or act as an server that will connect and act as an clients. In star topology, it is also said to be as a star network. It is mainly used in home LAN networks and it also provides an reliable and effective way to manage the traffic and troubleshooting the connectivity issues. So this is a diagrammatic representation of a star topology. The central devices is hub. It can connect the other devices, that is other host devices. That is a point-to-point connection between the host and the hub. Layer 1 devices such as hubs or repeaters. Layer 2 devices, they use the switches or bridge. In layer 3 they use a router or a gateways. That is the central device. Got it? Unlike bus topology, it not only simply broadcasts the frames to all the connected endpoints, as it will do some built-in intelligence. For example, in layer 3, the central device can be act as a switch. We all know that in switch, they can designate the MAC table for transferring the data to the destination addresses. That is, when the packet travel to the specific MAC address on LAN, the switch performs the MAC address function table lookup to determine the frame destination port. Okay, but in layer 3, the same central device can be act as an enabling the IP addresses, that is router function. So it will perform the routing table to target the traffic and send forward to the signal to its destinations. So types of star topology, there are two types. One is active and passive. In active topologies, the individual devices or computers are connected to the central hub, that is an outer nodes process the network data in the topology. This will regenerate and broadcast the communication because they can be used in the large size or long distance networks. But in passive, they do not handle any data transmission, so it does not regenerate or report the signals, so it can be used in small size or short distances. And for connection between the processing, that is between the host and the hub, they use a coaxial cable or RJ45 cables. And the popularly used Ethernet LAN protocols are CDMA and CSMA, collision detection and carrier sense multiple access. What are the applications of star network topology? That is, where are the places that we are using this? First one is a home network, and next one is a wireless network and telecommunication and surveillance systems. Routers are here as a central node that allowing the device such as computer to connect the internet and communicate with the other device. In wireless, they use a wireless access point as a central node. In telecommunication, they use to the central office to multiple users. And in surveillance system, they use the connected camera to the central recording device or server. The best advantages are, when a device is failure, it does not damages the entire network system because each device has its own dedicated connection and isolating issues. Next one is, adding and removing devices require only a single cable connection to the central hub. Because of this, there is no need to reconfigure the entire network. Then, dedicated connections prevents a data packet colludence and leading to smoother network traffic and improving the performances. And here, individual device connection make it harder for the unauthorized user to access the networks. And isolating problem is easier because we can easily find the fault device or the cable that can be identified. So in star topology, they do accommodate the various cables like coaxial and fiber cable depending upon the needs and their budgets. The disadvantages are, we all know that there is a central hub. Once it fails, the entire system will be collapsed. And here we require more cable than bus topology, that leading to an costliest and there is an high performance issues. And the network performance here mainly depending upon the capacity and the capability of the central device. Finally, managing and maintaining the central hub requires more resources. And in star network, there is the extensive cabling which can be challenging to manage, especially for the large and then complex layouts is there. And while the individual connection suffers some security benefits is there. Unauthorized access to the central hub and switch can compromise to the entire networks. Thank you. Please subscribe Rana TRB for more updates on PGTRB exam.